When talking about management, what comes to your mind? Suits, expensive cars, jets. It could be that, or it could be something else. It could be long, boring meetings in which someone is always agreeing with what someone else says, and everyone hopes that refreshments will be served. Well, the thing about management is that it's not any of those things. In fact, to understand management, let's start from the beginning. For starters, there is no single universally accepted definition of management. Indeed, there are probably as many views as there are writers. According to Rosemary Stewart, management is deciding what should be done and then getting people to do it. The French industrialist Henri Fayol defined management as to forecast and plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. If you look at that, it doesn't really come as a surprise, because when you're talking about functions of management, something that you're going to see later as we continue with this video, those things tend to pop up, okay? Planning, controlling, directing, coordinating, all that stuff, right? So if Fayol defined management that way, yeah, sure. Mary Parker Follett summed management as sensible working arrangements. Look, while all those people, okay, all those writers have different ways of defining management, there are certain things about their definitions that, all those definitions, there are certain things that they have in common when you're talking about management. So what are those? What are the things that all those definitions have in common? So things like planning and decision making, organizing, directing, and controlling. So those are 4 things that are central to management. Of course, you can also add other 2, okay? You can also add 2 other things when you're talking about management. And they are all carried out with the goal of achieving the organization's purpose, and they're all carried out in relation to human and non-human resources of the organization. Up to that bit, okay? How would you define management? In fact, let me know that in the comment section, because, you definitely have your own definition of management, okay? So what do you think? What do you think management is before we continue? So let me know that. To sum it up, management involves the process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the organization's resources in order to achieve the organization's goals. Notice, from that definition of management, we haven't really said anything about maximization of profit. Not that there is anything wrong with maximization of profit, right? Because, to be honest, you can use profit to do a lot of things. Make this place interesting, buy whatever, fire this guy. The point is, that is not really what management is all about. Profit is, yes, it's part of running a business, but that is not what we use to define management. Management is the means by which the organization's resources are applied in pursuit of the organization's goals. Whether they're about making money at any cost, organizing charitable works, or providing a range of user-sensitive services for the general public. Okay, so to understand management in a more detailed manner, let's first of all start by looking at the activities and functions that are entailed in management, okay? So let's start by that, meaning things like planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Planning, organizing, directing, and controlling are some of the 4 key functions of management that we mentioned when you're defining management. In fact, for those of you doing exams, it's one of those things that you tend to be asked, what are the 4 main functions of management? And then you have that, okay? Now, don't worry, in later videos, we're going to have specific videos just dealing with those 4 things, okay, in detail. But for now, let's think about that. How do those rather take place in the organization? So let's have a quick overview of such. Start with planning. Planning is the process by which the organization or any particular part of it determines what is to be done. Think about it. If you want to launch a new product, if you want to launch a new program, if you want to launch a new service, you just don't go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, launch it. Not really. You need to plan, okay? You need to think about things like what you want to do, resources available, and the preceding conditions. Planning will therefore involve a number of related services, such as, number 1, forecasting. So in this case, we're talking about analyzing the known conditions, which could be within or outside the organization, so that you can predict future conditions. So basically looking at what you have, and then thinking about how that can be used to predict what is going to happen in future. Number 2, goal setting, which involves the determination of what the organization intends to achieve, okay? What does the organization intend to achieve within a given span? So there is forecasting, there is goal setting, and then there is the third one, decision making. So in this case, we're talking about making a choice between certain goals, okay, a set of goals, and the choices of actions available. including identification and resolution of problems, conflicts, and priorities. When you're planning as a manager, okay, when you're planning, one of the things you need to know, which is kind of like common sense, you first of all have to know where is the organization coming from, okay, so that you can figure out where you're trying to go. It's one of those things. It's like your memory, okay? I mean, why do you have a memory? It really isn't so much so that you can remember good things or bad things. It's more like remembering what happened and then what lesson did you learn from it so that you can predict the future, or you can determine the course of action you're going to take in future. At least that is one of the chief purposes of a memory. So that is the same thing you do with planning. You sort of have to look at it in terms of where are we currently at, okay? You're running an organization, you want to increase your profits, or you want to boost your sales, you want to increase your sales, you want to motivate your workers. You just don't show up and tell them, work hard, or else you're fired. You can try that, but then it will come at a cost. The best thing will be for you to figure out is what they're currently doing, and here's what I want them to be, or what I want them to do. This requires information about how the organization is performing now and what the future holds. Number 2, organizing and directing. When you're talking about organizing, you're talking about the management activity that actually arranges for work to be done. Okay? Management activity that arranges for work to be done. That is organizing. Organizing is concerned with the allocation of resources, both staff and others, things like finances, material, time, etc., and the arrangement into working units and relationships such that the agreed plan may be carried out and achieved. Based on what has been organized, directing will just stem out of that, okay? So directing here will be trying to figure out that employees are properly engaged towards whatever it is that you want to achieve. So when you organize work units, then the question is, how are people going to undertake that? Which means you're going to have to direct that, okay? To direct the actions of the people and their efforts, okay? Uniting their efforts so that they can achieve the desired goals. So organizing and directing sort of just go hand in hand. And this involves motivating and supervising staff towards the concerted effort needed for effective performance. Now, the two efforts are, as pointed out earlier, the two efforts are combined for a number of reasons, okay? Because organizing involves both the division of work into logical tasks and its allocation to staff, and number 2, and the structural arrangement of staff into groups and organizational relationships. What does that mean? That means that management is not just about setting up structures and then anticipating, whatever. It's not about that. It's not just about coming up with plans or just calling for meetings or setting up structures, but ensuring harmony in staff relationship, that staff are working appropriately, among other things. There is a necessary overlap with the directing process here in respect of influencing relationships and monitoring their effect on performance, and also with the role of personnel or human resource function. Okay? So now let's talk about controlling. Regarding controlling, management control is the process of monitoring and regulating performance to ensure that it conforms to the plans and goals of the organization. So this is not just some function that you slap at the end of everything that you're doing. I mean, look, control starts all the way from just sort of trying to figure out whether you have a goal or not. It's like monitoring, okay? You just don't finish something and then now you want to monitor and evaluate it. It's an ongoing process, because when you're planning, okay, when you're coming up with a goal for starters, you have to control the process. Otherwise, you end up with people in a meeting just shouting pointless stuff. Or you end up in a situation where you come up with utopia ideas, which sort of look beautiful, are photogenic. And yet in reality, they're not going to be executed, okay? So that is the reason why control becomes an integral part of the entire management function. It's something that is supposed to be ongoing. It involves continuous monitoring and review of the way in which goals are being met through performance or the designated activities. It's one of those situations where you just, sit back and ask yourself, right, I have a goal. Is it a good goal? Then the question becomes, what exactly makes a good goal? And you end up with something like SMART, okay? Which means a good goal is, number 1, specific. What do you want to achieve? I mean, it could be anything. You want to increase your sales. Good, that is a goal, right? But then you want to increase your sales by how much? So a good goal is specific. A good goal is measurable. I want to boost my sales or increase my sales by, 15%. Well, what exactly does 15% mean in this case? Depending on whatever you've been doing, so 15% of that, okay? A good goal is also attainable. I mean, it's not one of those situations where you're like, I want to go to the moon. Yeah, okay. Can you afford a plane? Can you afford a ticket? I mean, you can call Elon Musk and see if you can afford. The point is it attainable? Okay. Is it realistic? Okay. Because if it isn't realistic, then you end up with utopia sort of goals. And then it's time bound. Okay. So it's time bound in the sense that I want to do this within 6 months. I want to do this within the next 1 year. This is where you want to be in the next 3 years. So all that stuff is part of control. Hence, a good goal is smart. So that tells you that we have indices, okay, in which, in the ideal world, okay, we have those indices in the ideal world, which are used to measure your goal, which are used to measure your management achievement. So these are part of what can be referred to as the KPIs, the key performance indicators. And those are going to help you when you're controlling, okay? So you just don't throw things on the wall and see whatever is going to stick. I mean, if you're such kind of a manager, then things won't go well for you. In fact, what you're going to be doing is just going to be annoying your workers, because you're just going to be shifting blame on them. So what are you using to measure whether you've performed well or not? That is part of control. Are standards or targets being achieved? How well is the progress being made towards the desired end? So when you're talking about control, you're talking about taking measures to actually ensure that what is actually happening, okay? What is happening will lead towards what we intended. So if you're doing something, it's like right now, if you're watching this, then the question is, what exactly do you intend to learn? So do you know what you wanted to learn out of this video, and are you learning it? So if the answer is yes, then it means things are going according to plan, which sort of means you also have to let me know about that, right? So what exactly did you intend to achieve, and are you achieving them? So that is part of control as far as management is concerned. This does not necessarily involve cracking down on staff who are not performing to the expected standards. It may, but it may also mean reviewing the plans and amending them where it can be demonstrated that they were defective in some way or that conditions have changed. That entire process is heavily dependent upon information. And that is the reason why, in order for you to be a good manager, you have to keep yourself informed. If you just lock yourself in your office and then you just make calls, you send emails, and then you call for meetings, you don't have information. You don't really know what's happening on the ground. You don't really know what's happening with your workers. You don't even know what's happening in the market. So you need information. Information is power. So if you're going to be a manager, well, keep yourself informed. That is pretty much the idea here. So you need to keep yourself informed with things like financial reports, output totals, qualitative progress reports, etc. That is pretty much the whole idea, okay? Now you are aware of what management is, okay? And what are some of the functions of management? If there is any question, do let me know. So the nature of management, the functions of management, you should be aware of that. If there is any question, do let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.